Okay, this is my battle zone prep area. Let's shoot an intro. Good morning. This is Saturday morning, and we need to look into some bees. We've got a surprise swarm in our swarm box that looks like they've been there for about a week. No capped brood, so we'll give them another week before we check them out. So it could come from any of mine, but what I really want to do is go through my production hives, see if they're the ones that have swarmed, and just to ward off evil spirits, probably mark some queens that are not marked. All right, let's get to it. And I have a mic. Moving on up in the world. Okay. Okay, so before we go in, we have our plan, and then we need to prep. So, of course, we have smoker, more smoker fuel. We're going in. I've got queen marking stuff. And what are our resources in a pinch? I took these out of the freezer, and it looks like we've got a couple of mediums, and it looks like that whole box, that whole bottom medium super looks like it's either drawn comb or partially drawn. Okay. Okay, preparation, just so the phone doesn't get too hot. I like to carry around a nuke just in case I see something or have my queen. I just put that frame in the nuke, or if I need to do a quick split. This is a nuke that I won this year, picked up. That's my grafted queen, my first grafted queen for the season. That was a swarm caught last year. All right, let's see where they're at, and let's get to it. Well, that's just rude. Surprise, surprise. It has been a couple of weeks since I've been in these, so I have no idea what I'm getting into. I just went and got my favorite hive tool. Okay. I do not see them up there at all. So, how about we do this? There is a queen excluder. This is a building colony. For my building colonies, I give them, unless they're going like absolutely bonkers, I give them the frames that are not drawn because they're probably not going to be a production colony. And this super may be theirs for the wintertime. So let's see what we can see. Since they're not up there, I'll just take that off of their hands. I'm just going to do a quick check. Separate both broods because we did have that swarm. Got to see who it is. Why is this so heavy? Guess we'll find out. Okay, so I see no swarm cells. That doesn't mean that they're not there. And this top deep is full. It's so full. Do we have brood? Or is this all honey? I went here because this is the least drawn out. All right, so this is all food. Completely honey. Completely honey. Let me see if I can bring you in there. There you go. Completely capped honey. It's capped honey. Okay. So we do have brood. These falling off. And more brood. Okay. What I want to do is this outer one has a fat side and a not so fat side. It might turn that around, fat side out. Put that as close to the wall. And so this fat side is going to go into this skinny side. Okay. So I've got brood here. Hope you can see that, but if not, you can hear. All right, I've got brood on these. And brood on this one. Okay. Since I have brood, it's warm. I have brood, brood, brood. I typically like to checkerboard my frames, putting a couple of brood together. However, in this instance, I think I'm just going to do this. So since this has honey and this is undrawn, and I've got brood on this side, I've got brood down there too. I'm going to put the undrawn side towards the first brood frame, like this. If you put undrawn frames next to honey, especially uncapped honey, it's been my experience that it could be wonky. So if you put it in between two brood frames, it actually decreases the likelihood of some weird stuff going on. I was able to put, I've got a little bit of brood here. I've got two broods and there's three broods. I'm going to put that other undrawn, completely undrawn, in between those two. Since they weren't already working the supers and our flow, I don't know how long it can hold up. I'm not going to put the queen excluder back on and just put the supers on here. If they want to come up and lay in the supers, that's fine. I don't care. It could be theirs. And they just have free reign. So yes, I do have a migratory cover. I like migratory covers, but I also like the opportunity to have an upper entrance for ventilation, whatever they want to do. So I do often, and it keeps me from storing equipment. So I have this top cover, put the upper entrance, or this migratory cover over the inner cover. And really, there is enough space for bees to get on there if they want to. They are ready to go. And that's done. And what do we have here? Okay, I'm short. I gotta come over here to see if I can see what I want to see. Okay. What do we have here, ladies? Okay. All right. I do automatically see that I have a queen excluder. I also see that I have 9 frames of drawn comb, that they are not really working. They are putting it away. Okay. But it's not crazy covered. I'll leave it. We'll see. I think I want to replace this queen anyway. We'll see what her laying pattern looks like. Laying pattern versus temperament. Because I already got a girl in my face. I should have brought my tripod, but I don't have a whole lot of time today. So I'm filling my cup by playing with the bees in the time that I have. And of course, filming it for you. So we have great coverage. So she's in 1 deep and 2 mediums. And her laying pattern is, well, it looks like they're kind of maybe nectar bound in the top, or maybe they're pushing her down. What I shall do is grab, ooh, I know what I'm going to do. No. I'm going to go get an undrawn frame. Or the first thing I found is a partially drawn frame. Put that in between 2 broods. No queen excluder. I'm going to put this back. Gotta get a hold. Since this is a 9 framer, we're going to make this a 10. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. Yes. Grab this. Now she has full reign of the 1 deep, 2 medium. Get the junk out of here. Sorry, girls. What I'd like to try to do, only because I've seen it on YouTube. You know, it's on YouTube. It's got to be right. I'm gonna put a little piece of wood here, and maybe kind of tilt the top cover. So it's a little maybe vented. Who knows? 613, spot check, remove, queen excluder, capped, brood, unknown, if swarm. Okay, don't get in my face. Swarm caught last year. We are currently in double deep queen excluder with a medium. Oh. I did keep these girls versus requeening them because when they got bigger, their temperament was not too spicy. Now today might be a different day. Just dropped them on there one good time. What shall we do? What shall we do? Ow, I just smashed my fingers. So, because this girl was a caught swarm of unknown origin, she was actually a late swarm. I think I caught her in October. See, hobby beekeepers do practice a late swarm, and they survive. In Oklahoma. But if she's a swarmer, does she have swarm tendencies? I don't know. I mean, I don't see any smell signs. You know, I mean, it doesn't mean they're not in there, but impromptu beekeeping videos. Okay, we've got Hones with some bee bread. Okay, now let me see if I can show you bee bread. So on the last video, bee bread. I'm going to anticipate brood on the next one. Oh, we can anticipate, but are we correct? Let's check it out. Ta-da! Broods. More bee bread. Now, why in the world would they have a full frame of honey in between broods? No, there's still brood on here. And then we've got a nice, okay, let's do this. Okay, so I don't see her on this frame, but we do have brood. We've got bee bread. We do have that honey band. Why is our laying pattern crazy? Because we have nectar in between. We have a weird laying pattern again. Oh, got my jacket. A weird laying pattern again. I do not see nectar in between this one. Milk brood looks good. I am going to look at this next frame because I saw something that caught my attention. Oh, that girl. That sneaky girl. All right, so here's our brood frame. Like I said, looking in between does not guarantee that there are not, drum roll please, swarm cells. So, and these swarm cells are capped. Could she be my swarm caught? Honey, I wasn't calling you honey. So we did have open brood, but that swarm does not have, the swarm does not have capped brood. But I have not seen eggs. Girlfriend. Are you girls being naughty? Not really. I know. So we're going to do this. Queen cell. I think I marked her last year. I can't remember. The real question is do I have my notes? Nope, don't have my notes. Do I have it in my notes? I couldn't tell you. Bless this mess. What am I doing? Thanks for asking. Other than sweating. Sorry, it's the noon o'clock tornado sirens. I'm using this as my bench. Swarm cells capped. Oh, that one's capped too. And I have eggs. And I have eggs. There are swarm cells all over the place. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? Here's my problem, folks. It's a good problem to have. So I do have eggs. If I leave all of these beautiful queen cells, it's been my experience, we get virgin swarms, and I live in a neighborhood. I try to have 0 swarms. I try. I tried to have 0 swarms. So you go in somewhere and with a plan, and then the bees are like, you only thought. Just hold my beer. I have eggs. I got eggs sticking straight up. Do I? No, they're laying down. Definitely. Oh, this one looks like it is about. Oh, that one actually looks like it emerged. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. The emergent of the cabinet. The cabinet. The cabinet. Was a planned quick inspection turns into a holy crap. There are queen cells all over here. Girl. Girl. All right, nectar. I am going to sit. There's an egg. Watch her be on this very last frame. That would be my luck. Bee brew or bee bread. Oh man. So, I mean, technically she could be on this very first frame that I took out. Let's look and find out. In conclusion, this hive either swarmed or is, well, they are going to swarm. We have queen cells all over the place. I did see eggs. Because I'm pressed for time, I am going to put them back together and think about my actions, or what I want my actions to be. And I'm going to say, gauging by some of those queen cells, I may not have one. So I'll keep you updated. The real question is, let me go up here. The real question is, do swarm honeybees, I know they don't build comb, but do they pack away the honey? We may just do this experiment and find out. Who knows?